ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ KTV ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ Today we are in conversation with a young volunteer who has been dedicated to Roko Cancer. Now, like some of you know, Roko Cancer is an organisation which operates internationally and they are most known for their cancer awareness camps throughout India. Today we are in conversation with Mandeep here. So welcome to the KTV London studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to have you here, and we're here today to talk about your involvement with Roko Cancer, what you do.
Sure.
So in terms of Roko Cancer, you've been a volunteer for a long time, but what have you been doing? So how did your journey start?
Sure. So actually about 2 years ago, me and my mum were watching KTV actually, and there's an advert that came on for Roko Cancer. So I'm a true believer that everybody's, friends or family, some way or form, people are affected by cancer. So I've always been quite intrigued about how I can help more. So when I saw the advert, I picked up the phone and I spoke to Gurdeep uncle, who told me what they do.
Okay.
And I actually was really intrigued and I wanted to know more. And I actually said to him, do you know something? I actually want to take part in this. And he actually helped me set up my first camp. And that's actually how my journey began.
Okay, so in terms of running the camps, what inspired you to, and so how many camps have you done?
Sure.
And what inspired you to do them in those areas?
Sure, so I've done 2 camps now and I'm working on my 3rd camp. The first camp we did in my dad's bend, which was in Resiwal. The reason I chose dad's bend was because I actually wanted to know how they did things. When you're investing money in a charity, you want to know what's happening behind the scenes. So my dad was actually going to Punjab at the time, and Gurdeep uncle recommended saying, look, if your family are going, let them go, let them see it, let them meet the team. And that really made me see what Roko Cancer was really all about. And also because it was my dad's bend, I wanted to do a little bit more for everybody that was there. And I really enjoyed it. And I thought just to see the videos, the pictures they sent, my mum and dad were very proud of what the team did, how hard they worked. They saw over, I think, 300 people.
Wow.
And this was not just our bend, it was the bends around as well, because we advertised it very well. And then obviously because I saw that, I then decided to do another camp. So this camp, I actually come from a very big family. So it was done by the Heed, Dillon and Bow family, so that's my sister's side as well. And we did this at the Golden Temples at Harmandir side.
Oh wow, okay.
The reason I decided to do that is because I wanted to kind of make sure more people were tested. And obviously, Harmandir side, the sangat that comes there, it's pretty amazing. And also because I trusted the team. I knew that they would do a good job. I knew what happened. I knew the test that happened there. And that was my 2nd camp. And the 3rd one that we're working towards is Anandpur side. And I guess what I'm trying to do is make sure that we capture as many people as we can.
Absolutely.
Because it's such an amazing thing that these guys do. And also early detection is key. Whether it be cancer, whether it be blood pressure, whether it be sugar, there's so many things that you can do with this.
So you've been quite an active fundraiser for a number of charities.
Yes.
But why Roko Cancer?
I think it was I just love the way they do things. Early detection and the morals that they have are pretty amazing. To make sure that you can capture cancer early, get some treatment, get help. I mean, I've had family members who I've lost to cancer. I've had family members who have survived cancer, and they survived because of the early detection. So if we can do any little bit to help individuals in that sense, I think we'll be doing our bit as well.
So if a member of public wanted to run a camp, now with running a camp comes a cost implication. So people have to self-fund that, or they can find ways of fundraising.
Sure.
Now you've always found ways of fundraising. So what have you done differently?
So I am a true believer to make it fun. And with charities, I've done the Shine Walk at night, where you do 13 miles around London. It raises awareness for cancer. You meet people that have cancer on the way as well. And just to see their positivity and encouragement, I absolutely love it. I'll do it every year, to be fair. There's like 5K runs. I've done aerobics for 3 hours. I'm planning Ben Nevis next year, and I want to do that for Roko Cancer. So it's raising money in a fun way, getting more people involved. Like the 2nd camp I did with my siblings. And if you split the cost as well, it makes life a little bit easier, and also you get to do it more. So the Anandpur Sahib camp, again, my siblings want to do it with me because they really liked what they saw, and it makes a difference.
So just to reiterate to our viewers, Mandeep has planned for 2018 her next camp. She's also planned how she'll be fundraising for that camp. And if anyone is interested in taking part and possibly going alongside Mandeep and her family, there is an email that we'll be sharing with you a bit later on in the show where you can contact us and you'll be able to speak to Mandeep and she'll be able to give you advice and information of how to get involved with the next camp in 2018. Now, you started off as a volunteer,
yes.
but now your role has changed with Roko Cancer.
Yes.
So tell me what your new role is.
Sure. So I'm now the business advisor for Roko Cancer. So this year, around about a couple of months ago, I said to Gurdeep Uncle, look, I want to do more. I don't think by just sponsoring a camp every year, it's enough. I really like this charity. I like the people that work behind it. I've got to meet them as well, which has been great. So what can I do and what do I want to do? So I actually sat down and thought about it. And I wanted to attract more of the younger generation. And the reason I say that is because, like we can do these fun events, we can make it more exciting, we can raise money in different ways. Absolutely. And also I want to attract more people using social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because nowadays that's where things work. That's where people know more. By sharing one video, it's amazing who you can capture. And also I don't want to just capture people in the UK, there's such a wide market out there, why not try that? Yeah. So for me, it was trying to make sure that we do more and really showcase what we are doing, and also those individuals that could get that support and help from us as well.
Yeah, so you made reference to social media.
Yes.
Like Roko Cancer has been established for a long time.
Yes.
As we know, Mr. Chavala, who started this charity, this organisation, because of his wife who was a patient of cancer and actually passed away because of cancer. Yes. So that is something that he's always wanted to kind of maintain the legacy. Now, you've touched upon social media. What are you bringing as a business advisor to Roko Cancer that will excite younger people to get involved?
Yeah, I think I want to make it fun, right? I want to do more fundraising events, get different areas, different communities involved. I know that we do market Punjabis, but even my work colleagues wanted to know more about it.
Absolutely.
So, try to make sure that we can say, look, what actually happens? I want to use social media to, introduce everybody to the team in India. Yeah. Where is your money going? Who is the doctors? Who are the nurses? Who's our drivers? Those buses, they have to take those individuals there. What happens on a day-to-day basis? I want to make sure people know what they're investing in, and hopefully that will encourage them. Once they see it, wow, what are we doing? Having those interviews from those Sangat that say, I got treated for this, I was given this, it's amazing. So I want to make sure everybody else is part of that journey as well. And social media will help. Live feeds, Instagram pictures, videos, interviews, and sharing it as much as we can. So, yeah.
It's quite an innovative perspective that you're bringing, I think, to Roko Cancer, because it's a legacy that I think wants to be lived on and will be lived on and should be lived on, like we're mentioning. Now, you spoke about the camps that you've done in the past, and you're talking about forthcoming camps that you're looking to do. Now, every camp, like we mentioned earlier, has a cost implication. Now, it'd be really interesting for our viewers, especially, to know what does that cost implication involve, because there's a team, isn't there?
There is. So the team in Roko Cancer is 8 nurses, 3 doctors, 2 drivers and a manager. So you're actually obviously supporting them as well, because we obviously have to pay our staff.
Yes.
And they're a permanent staff to Roko Cancer, so they're dedicated to the cause. And they travel together, they live together at the moment in the guest house, and it helps us to support them. You obviously get the day-to-day running, so obviously we need an area, a space to do this, so the setup, you need a certain amount of tables and chairs, and the manager will help to coordinate that. So you get the overall package, and all you basically have to do is help support us.
So a camp, so if somebody decides to organise a camp, the cost implication, they can fundraise or they can self-fund. Now, in terms of promoting and getting the word out, because the camp runs over a day or 2 days, so what do you think people should do to promote the camp, and especially in villages which are so remote?
No, I can imagine. We try to encourage that, especially villages that are really remote. You can use the Gurdwara. I love the fact, in the mornings you get the Bart in the morning, so you can use those speakers to announce, there's going to be a bus that's coming, this is what it does. Even using the Sarpanch in a bend, go to them, talk to them. When they have their gatherings, they can tell people as well. And even, for example, old school fashion, having a scooter or something where you have a speaker going through the bend.
Innovation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people will hear. If they can't, for example, read or write, they can hear it, still attend and come and tell us what their problems are.
So there's many ways, like there's leaflets, obviously there has to be some sort of preparation before the camp. People need to know, because there's a certain target. If the word is not given in the villages, people will not attend.
No, exactly.
And obviously it's a waste of money, and we want to make sure we can maximise the use of the camps. Now, you spoke about 2 vans. What are these vans?
Sure. So they're actually the buses that we have on the day. And the buses are already there at the camp. You get individuals that can get tested in there. There's checks that happen within the van. There's also a video that gets played, and it talks about what cancer is. What are the signs people need to look at? We have posters all over the van, which also helps as well. So it really tries to promote and encourage people to really think about what cancer is, what are the signs, and pick those signs up, because that's what early detection is about. Okay,
so one bus is about people to get information what cancer is. The other one is a screening van, where people can go in and get screened. Now, when camps are run, they're specifically done in community hubs, like whether it's a local GP, a local doctor, or a community centre or a local school. Now, from your experience, the 2 camps that you have done, what are the ideal situations that people should be referring to when booking camps? Like, what is the best place?
I mean, I think for us, it's up to you where you want to do it. When you're sponsoring something, you might have a bend in mind, like your mum or dad's bend. You might even say, look, I don't have a bend. I'm born and bred here, but I don't have anyone back home. Then we can say to you, these are the areas that we can recommend. And also, the Gurdwara, there's so much attraction, so much sangat there, that we can obviously help pick and choose what the best location is. So, and also with that, you'll know exactly what you're getting. We'll give you live feedback, information and reports of obviously who's attended the camp as well.
So from my knowledge, I'm aware that Roko Cancer has covered 19 states across India. So we're not just talking about Punjab. You also can run a camp in Gujarat, in Rajasthan, in South India. If you belong to those areas, it's not necessary. It has to be Punjab. So we're not kind of closing in on the areas either. What we're trying to do is getting the name out, ensuring more people are screened, more people have access. Now, when somebody is screened in the camp, and say someone turns out that somebody has cancer, do you know what the next steps are?
Sure. So obviously Gurdeep uncle, who helps manage this, gets involved, and we try to find out what the government can do to help and support as well, and also what other support we would be able to provide them. So we don't just leave them and say, oh, okay, you've picked it up and that's it. There are other support mechanisms that we have in place as well to take the next step.
The reason why I'm asking, because if I had to self-fund my camp, I would want to know the number of people who's been screened. And if somebody turns out that has been diagnosed with cancer, let's say, what is the next step for that person? So that reassurance is really important. And does Roko Cancer, the team, do they ensure that they see it through?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even the first camp that I did, there was a young lady that was picked up that may have had cancer. And obviously the tests were done. At the time they did think it was, but once they did the further checking, it turned out that it wasn't. So the team itself of Nish was very hands-on. He was very talkative about what's happening, what the next step is. And my dad was fully aware at the time as well. So there are other things that do happen, not just do the camp and that's it.
So every camp has a coordinator who coordinates, right, this is our area, they need to know the demographics of the area, understand the population and everything like that. Now, where are you doing your next camp? Because you're doing it in 2018. Do you have a date in mind?
So at the moment we're thinking of doing it in Anandpur Sahib. We're still working on dates because obviously it's quite a busy period during Anandpur Sahib as well. But again, it will be the team that help manage and coordinate it. And what I want to do is capture as many people as we can. So I've said to Gurdeep uncle, I wouldn't mind if we need 2 buses on the day, but let's try and see what we can do and promote it. I mean, I've got family in India, so I get to them to share it on their Facebook, their social media, but also those posters and leaflets, just create the right noise to get the right amount of people there as well.
And if anybody wants to volunteer, can they do so?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for us, it's the extra support's great. So if anyone wants to help and do more, just pick up the phone, let us know, and we can go through that.
Can I be the first volunteer?
Of course. We'll definitely have you.
So that's guaranteed. My name should be on the top of the list. Perfect. So I think from what I've seen of Roko Cancer, and I think your involvement, and hence the reason your succession, let's say, from a volunteer, you've now become a member of the team where you are promoting the services of Roko Cancer, not just in England, but also in India.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were to, you're quite young yourself, let's say, and if you wanted other people to get involved, what would be your message?
Sure. So for me, I think anybody that wants to get involved, and if they've been intrigued with anything I've said today, just pick up the phone. Just make that call. We can have those conversations and we can take the next step. And I can help with ideas, fundraisers. Let's make it fun and think about what you're doing at the end of it. And I think that will encourage people, definitely.
Absolutely, because cancer shouldn't be seen as a problem.
No.
It should be seen that, right, how do we raise the awareness? Because we don't want that the situation increases, more people are affected. So it should be fun at the same time. And that's one of the reasons you are more promoting young people to come on board, come up with fundraising ideas, work together as a team, and go out and promote the camps.
And I think with cancer, it's that word. When someone hears it, they're like, oh my God, can you believe that? It's one of those things that we take it the wrong way. And I think what I want to do with this is saying early detection, even if that cancer comes up, let's see what we can do about it, because there's so much out there. And for me, I've always had this motto in life, and my family laugh at me where I say any little helps, because it really does, because taking this extra step forward, you never know who you could help and support.
So I'm going to test your knowledge. What does Roko stand for?
Stop. Stop cancer.
Cool. So that's what we want to do.
Yes.
Ideally, we want to be able to raise awareness where people can help themselves. It's more of a self-help situation, isn't it, where we raise the awareness and tell people, especially in villages, how they can help each other, because support networks are very important. And that's one of the reasons you're promoting social media.
Yes.
So do you have you're on social media? What do you have?
We've recently opened up our Instagram account, which is UK Roko Cancer Team. And we're going to be doing a Facebook page as well, which also will be UK Roko Cancer Team as well. So what I want to do with that is literally showcase what Roko Cancer Team's all about, what we do, and the team itself.
So I think it'd be really good if people are running camps individually as well. They can share on the Instagram hashtag, the team that we just mentioned, the name, which we will be sharing with you at the bottom of the page, and also the email where you can get in touch with Mandeep to possibly volunteer for the next fundraising event she's doing, or even take part in the next camp. There's many opportunities where people can get involved.
Yes.
Now, just a leaving message for our audience, what would you like to share?
I would say that obviously, like I said, if you're intrigued by anything that I've said today, if you want to know more just about what Roko Cancer is, how it works, just pick up the phone, drop me an email, add me on Instagram. There's so many means right now, and hopefully we can do our bit to help as well.
Okay, so that's good. You've given us communication methods, you've given us how people can get in touch. Now, what's your next step forward? You've now become a business advisor for Roko Cancer. Where do you see yourself going in the next couple of months?
I think for me is just creating the right noise, creating more noise about Roko Cancer. Really working on, for me, I think social media is my priority right now, just to get the word out there. And I think the next few months I want to focus on that, because that takes time to build. Then the fundraisers will come, then everything else will follow with it as well. Because it's exciting. I'm really happy to be part of the team, and they're very welcoming. I just think there's so much more that we can do, and I hope to, bring that forward in the next year or so.
I think it's really good that you've come on board and you've been promoted, to with a job title for Roko Cancer. And I think it's very important. You've highlighted social media, and I think I totally agree with you. Social media is the way forward. That's the only way we can get the word out. And I do hope that more and more people sign up, email us to get involved with these amazing fundraising ideas that Mandeep is coming up with. And I'm sure she's got many more under her belt that she's not sharing with us just now, but I'm sure she will do in the future. So Roko Cancer in London, how many team members do we have?
So at the moment, who I've been involved with quite a lot is Gurdeep Uncle and Poonam, who helped manage from a UK perspective. There is a group chat that I was recently added into as well, so I'm just getting to know...
Social media,
WhatsApp. I'm getting to know more of the team, and we obviously talk about the camps that are happening all around. For example, if sponsors have come to us and said, can we do a camp here? We help then cater and talk to Avnish to make sure those camps are organised as well.
So it's a platform for discussion.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, so you just mentioned sponsors coming on board. So if people can sponsor a camp, they're allowed to?
Yeah, definitely.
And how do they do that?
So basically, if they want to sponsor a camp that we have or anything, they can let us know. You know, again, it's knowing, you know, if they have something in particular in mind location-wise or something that we can help them with. So we can have those discussions with them at the time.
And also another question I had was, can people collaborate to run a camp?
Definitely. I mean, my second camp I wanted to do with my siblings.
Okay.
Definitely. If you've got friends or family that you want to do it as a joint effort, more than happy to. For us, it's kind of the end cause that matters.
Because obviously the cost implication.
Of course.
Some people may not be able to afford a cost of the camp, and therefore if they get together with friends, with family, it would probably ease off the pressure a bit.
Exactly.
And then therefore your outcome is better, is shared, and people can all take part equally.
No, definitely.
Okay, that's great. So, as we're leaving the show today with Mandeep here, like we discussed on behalf of Roko Cancer, some of the amazing camps that take place, we're going to be sharing with you a short video of one or two of the camps that Mandeep did herself. So, like I said, now we're going to show you a short clip.
ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਰੇਸੀਵਾਲ ਹੁਸ਼ਿਆਰਪੁਰ ਜ਼ਿਲ੍ਹੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ। ਇੱਥੇ ਰੋਕੋ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਕੈਂਪ ਲੱਗਾ ਗਿਆ। ਇਸ ਕੈਂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 150 ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੜੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਚਾਹੁਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੱਜਣ ਸਰਪੰਚ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਸੁੱਚਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਤੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਦਾ ਲੜਕਾ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਰਘਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੁਣੀ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਹੱਦ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਰੋਕੋ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ, ਕਈ ਬੰਦੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੇ, ਰੋਕੋ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਹੀ ਅੱਛੇ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਬੜੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ।
So, welcome back, and because we are in conversation today with Mandeep here, the business advisor for Roko Cancer. Thank you so much, Mandeep, for coming to the London studio here at KTV. It was a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to share with the viewers some of the upcoming exciting projects that you have. And like I mentioned earlier, if je tusi kuch puchna ya tusi involve karna chahde apne aap nu ਅੱਗੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੈਂਪਸ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਈਮੇਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ london@ktv.global ਦੇ ਈਮੇਲ ਤੇ, and we will give you more information. If not, Please do follow Roko Cancer, and like Mandeep shared earlier on, the number of social medias we have, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We will be sharing that information on the bottom of the screen for you, so you do get involved, and hopefully on the next fundraising event we'll see many more of you. Thank you so much. Sat Shri Akal ji ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ।